All right, good morning, everybody. Today we're looking at EVAX here. It's looking pretty good. We dropped down from 201 all the way up to 357, so we've got a good range here. Looks like our immediate range is probably going to be 288 to maybe 330. Hopefully this opens up near that VWAP and we can take a play on it. There's not a whole lot else going on. We've got AGRI with a low here of about $1.69 and a high of about $1.97, so the range is okay on this one. It's not looking like it's really got any sort of major trend or volume or price action, so it might not really do anything today, but we'll keep it open and see. We've got Frey here, also kind of looking the same, but a little bit better, I'd say. We're going from a low here of $13 to a high of 14.40, so the range is pretty slim on this, but other than that, it's not looking too bad. We've got Sun again with no price action, no volume, and RDHL, which is looking okay. I wouldn't say this one's looking fantastic either, but again, it's another thing that might start to move on open. So we've got a low of 61 cents there and a high of 73 cents. So we've got a pretty decent range if this can actually start to move. But yeah, beyond that, we're just going to wait for basically EVAX to open and see what happens with this. Working again. Oh, that sucks. But yeah, we'll wait for this to open and then we'll see what happens here. Got 5 seconds left. Got to make sure I've got everything open. Okay. All right, so we're opening up a little bit down, which is kind of what we wanted to see. So we'll go for EVAX. Probably gonna try and get close to this VWAP line here, maybe like 314. We're gonna go for a 350. Yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable. Probably a 304 stop out. Now we're hoping this does just kind of pick up from here, but again, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. And that's EVAX. And 313, there we go. Okay. So we're hoping for a bounce off VWAP. It looks like that's what's going to happen so far. AGRI not doing anything. Frey, quite a bit of volatility here. Hits VWAP, looks like it's going to take off, so maybe we'll try a Frey play too, even though it's a little bit high on our price range here. So I'd like to get in close to VWAP, but I'm not sure that'll happen. So we might go for 1420. Might get a little lower than that, hopefully. We're going to go for 15 at least, and then we're going to go for maybe put a 14 flat. I don't want to give it more than 20 cents, honestly, because I don't think we need it. Of course, the 14 flat is right on a support area. Okay, so we're at 14.18, something like that, 14.15. So that is Frey. Looking good. EVAX here, we did see it up to about 330. That's not a bad place to take profits. We're currently down at VWAP, but if you took profits earlier on, way to go. EVAX. Not looking super great right this second, but I believe it should move back up. Okay, what else we got? Frey's looking okay. Sun's not doing anything. RDHL's not doing anything. AGRI. It's starting to head up here, so we're looking kind of good on that. We might be able to take a play on that. We got a couple other things popping up we could take a look at as well. We've got IMTE. Looking good there. I actually like that that open. That one's looking good. SYRS. Also looking pretty good. $6 range, 630, 660, not bad. EVAX on its way back up. AGRI still sitting there. Frey kind of bouncing up and down. We saw 1450 on the high. I'd say 1460, we might be able to take some profits. Sun, we're going to close down. RDHL will keep open right now. IMTE, we may see a volume be a little bit more steady, and then we could probably think about taking a play. And then we have AGRI here. Volume's looking pretty good on the last two candles. This one just opened, so we can't really use the volume right yet. Maybe we take a play off this 180 level. Range is okay on it. Yeah, I'd say AGRI around 180. AGRI 180. We're going to go for a 195 and then a 175 stop loss, I think. Let's give it a 173. That way it has to break a new low. Might have to get a little higher. If you get a little higher, you probably won't want to have such a huge stop. But I will leave that for you to decide. Okay. EVAX back down, did break into that 336 level. So as we were saying, anywhere around 330, good place to take some profits. It looks like it's back down now. AGRI looking decent. Frey down, getting close to stop. Looks like it's reversed its trend and heading down. So if you didn't get any profits out around 1450, it looks like we're probably going to stop out on this. Very, very minimal stop, so I'm not really worried about it. But all the same, let's trade down the drain. IMTE not doing much. SYRS not really doing anything either. EVAX down quite a bit here. We'll see if this breaks through that support area. Good morning. HKD. That's going to be a little too high for me to play. Honestly, I don't even think I could buy a single share with our current account parameters. Yeah, Frey with the knife. Yeah. Nice recovery off of the knife, though. So it could still be something in play. Nothing new popping up. AGRI heading down. We did hit up to 189. That's not bad. So if you could take profits around 189 if you want to, especially since we hit that high there. Very big knife. I think this is a good idea to get in here. Again, anyway. So we're gonna go AGRI, 176, 190, and then a 170. We'll give it a 173 again. We don't want it to break down, so we'll give it. It just gets a 3-cent stop this time, and that's fine. Might be more. Might be a 5-cent stop, depending where you get in. I don't think it hit 176. Nope. And I got a 178, so mine's gonna be a 5-cent stop. EVAX recovering again. That was a kind of a reversal candle, so this one should have headed up, but it hasn't yet. Now we've got a bearish candle. Now we're seeing it. A little bit of a push up. If it doesn't hold here, we have one more support area, and if it can't hold, anywhere between here and 289, then we're most likely going to see it back down 250s. Frey does look like it wants to come back up. The range on this is like not really great, so I don't want to waste too much time on it if we don't have to. IMTE starting to look okay. SYRS not really doing a whole lot. SLNG just halted. This could be something playable. Looks like it took a drop to the 200 and then took off. It is acting interesting, isn't it? You think you should play it as a swing? I don't know if anybody should be swing right now in general, but I'm probably not the person to give swing advice. It's not really my area of expertise. Especially with an IPO like HKD. There you go. I wouldn't swing with FOMC today. Yeah, that's probably some solid advice. Wow, look at that. We saw it all the way up to 353. What was that? That was some, yeah, a lot of buying and then a lot of selling. Technically, that's PT on EVAX. And then stop out, like right after. So if you were very, very quick, maybe you got in and got out, but that was hard to catch. Yeah. Yeah, if you had a limit sell in place, definitely should have panned out. Is it done? I don't think EVAX is done. I think that it should bounce sometime soon. AGRI hitting 180. We did see it all the way up to 182 from our entry on 78, so that's not too bad. That's 4 cents. I'd like to hit at least 5 cents on it though. EVAX does look like it wants to go again. I think I'm willing to risk it on EVAX, especially seeing that volatility. So let's go again. We'll go for a 3. I'd like to get in like $3 on it. And then at least get 330 out of it, and then probably just a 290 stop. 290 brings us where? Yeah, 290. I like that. If you have to get in higher, you can move that stop up higher. Anywhere below this support area here of 297 is good. Looks like we are in the cusp of a recovery here, thank God. Because I don't know what we would be doing if EVAX stopped being playable. There's really not a lot going on right now. Everything's kind of in a downturn. SLNG still halted. That halted at 6:36, so we have 2 more minutes on this halt, or should have 2 more minutes on this halt. Can't always presume something will be a 5-minute halt, because sometimes they hold it longer. Currently unavailable for the security. Ah, man, Fidelity. Get to again. The only stock that's like super playable right now, and you can't have a stop on it. It's not OTC, it's NASDAQ. How is it ineligible? It doesn't make sense. It's like it's out to get you. No, definitely not. Oh my God, we saw another spike up to 349. This is definitely somewhere you want to have limit orders on this because this is like kind of nuts. Like what is that? Look at that. All the way to, just hit that 350 level or just under that 350 level. Yeah, are you guys getting the fills on the limit order? Are you guys doing limit orders on this? If not, the third trade definitely should be limit orders. Oh man, you should definitely like they're happening like lightning quick, so you kind of need those. That's PT on EVAX, I guess. Whoop, that's not what I meant to say. EVAX, there we go. I'm gonna jump back in because EVAX. I don't really want to get in this high though. I guess 315 is probably what we're gonna be aiming here. I'm gonna say 340 because I mean we're hitting at least 350 every time on these spikes, and then we're gonna go 305 stop. So we'll just move that stop up to 305. That's quite a high stop in my opinion, but we'll see. Granted, I'm kind of getting really crappy fills on my cells here, but that's okay. The spread looks fine, but I guess because it's so lightning quick, it's just not working out the way I wanted it to. But that's honestly, I can't really complain that we're making money pretty quickly on it, even if it's not exactly the top or anything. Okay. What's AGRI doing? Absolutely nothing. Okay, that's gonna be fun to sit. Yeah, it is kind of a must. I'm not even fast enough to be taking these without putting stop sells in or anything like that. Sober looks like it's trying to curl. Let's take a look. RDHL can go. There's a solid possibility, I think. Yeah, this is a very good support level here, 227. Yeah, below that, you don't have support to like the 160 level. So I would say if it's going to curl, it would be that, 227 area. So that's definitely not bad. I'm hoping EVAX does it a third time because that's kind of easy money. Foxo. Let's take a look at Foxo. We'll get rid of this because this looks like it's dying. Foxo's looking pretty good, actually. The pre-market was pretty crap on it. I know it was on the pre-market scanner, but I didn't look at it because of that. But it did run up pretty good here, 230 all the way up to 280. It's on its way back down now, so we'll have to see where it finds support. It might find support at that 250 area, which is basically where it bounced off of. But we'll see. How do I deal with the big loss on BCAN? Well, the thing is, I don't deal with big losses. I cut them before they get to that point. So I don't know what kind of loss you took, but it looks like it's just been a pretty major downtrend. Honestly, to me, this kind of looks like a cut. You're seeing it spikes up, shoots down, spikes up, shoots down, spikes up, shoots down. So you might get lucky and be able to get out around like 550, maybe $6 if you hold, but I wouldn't really be banking on that per se. Yes, that's true, but my big loss is 5%. Usually when someone else says big loss, it's not 5%. I think it was 5%, 5.4 or something. All right, we saw 183 on AGRI. Again, not really a lot in profits, but that's basically where I said we were going to be looking to take a little bit of profit on that, was the 5 cent mark, and for me, that's the 5 cent mark. Freight with a nice curl, yep. Sober continues down a little bit. Foxo didn't hold that level, so we're looking at a 200 EMA bounce next. SYRS kind of all over the place, 630 to 660. It's got a decent amount of movement. See, Sling should have unhalted by now for sure. And it hasn't. You're down, yeah, see, he's down 18%. So 18% is a pretty big loss. Yeah, I mean, like it's got a pretty consistent pattern of moving up in the pre-market and then falling. So you might get lucky if you sell tomorrow morning and you might get less of a loss. I probably can't say you're going to make a profit on it, but you might make less of a loss on it. But yeah, it's very important to have strict risk management. If you're swing trading, different story, obviously, but yeah, I don't know. At that point, 18%, I probably wouldn't be risking much more. I'd definitely be cutting because that's a huge loss. Yeah. FOXO looks like it's continuing its drop past that 200, so we probably won't be playing that. We've got AGRI here at 185, so again, we're looking at a decent level here. EVAX, nasty drop down this time, so we stopped out on that. Yeah, EVAX is just like, it's all over the place. Can't trust EVAX. No, you can't. Yeah, now we know it goes both ways. It's not just spikes up. It can have a spike down. This is like really weird behavior. But it looks like free money. 185 on AGRI. I think Frey's pretty much topped out here. That wick is telling all the story you need to know. Sober looks like it should recover here. I think that is going to be the next play. SOBR. We're going to go for about a 230 entry. You're going to go for at least 250 on it with a 220. Will 220 save us? 220 will save us. It's a pretty big stop for a $2 stock, but I kind of want to give it enough room that if it comes back down on us, we won't hit a stop. Trade Zero Pro charts offline, yeah. It is kind of high. I would wait for a little bit of a retracement, but at the same time, you might miss it. So it depends on your FOMO level, I guess. Yeah, it is a harsh experience to take big losses, but it's almost guaranteed that everybody has to learn that way. There's no getting around it. I think almost everybody takes big losses and learns for themselves. I mean, like I've tried stopping people in the past from doing stuff like that, and they think, well, I'll just try it anyway. Oh gosh. Level 2 is working. Weird. How do you prevent big losses? Good risk management. So with big losses, like when you've been day trading for a while now, so your big loss is not the kind of big loss that we're talking about with this kind of big loss. This kind of big loss, he's taking an 18% loss, where a big loss for you is probably like 3 to 5%. So in that regard, it's just sometimes it happens, right? Like sometimes, like yesterday with BCAN, I got stopped out of 5% loss because I accidentally bought on a halt down. So that was a 5% loss for me. For me, that's a big loss, but when I first started trading, a big loss was, yeah, like, 10, 20, 30%, sometimes more. AGRI does not look like it wants to go higher. Freya does not look like it either. We did have that pullback on Sober here down to that 234 level, which is pretty good. I think that's probably a pretty optimal place to buy in. You still think Freya's going to go? It very well could. There's a couple candles with some big wicks on it, but besides that, it doesn't look too bad. MACD's a little overextended. The top end is opening up though, so you got a couple mixed signals there. Sling opens up, it's at $8. We need to jump in on this. I'm not going to get an alert out in time. Nope, didn't get an alert out in time. That's okay, I'm still putting it out there. Giving it a pretty hardy stop loss here. I should have put out alert before it unhalted because I knew it was gonna move fast, but I didn't. Hopefully I'll jump in on that. It was kind of one of those things where you just have to jump in. You're not really picking a price at this point. But we'll see. We'll see what happens when it unhalts. This could halt back down now or whatever, but we'll see. Forgot about AGRI? Yeah, me too. And that actually hit 188. What were we aiming for? 190? Did it stop again? Did what stop again? SLNG? Yes, you had to be very, very quick. Fidelity's not. Yeah, because you don't have hotkeys, right? Yeah, that sucks. Sober's looking good. We saw the nice spike up to 247 from our entry of 234. I think I was a mid talking about getting in at 234 when SLNG opened up. I got in pretty high. I got in 778 here. Definitely could have gotten in low sevens if I was paying attention, but I was looking at the timer and I was like, it's already, like a couple minutes past. It'll probably go for like a 15-minute halt, and then I think it was only a 10-minute. It was oddly enough, it was a 13-minute halt. 5K loss, yeah. It's tuition, right? Market tuition. You take losses and you learn from it. So there's two ways you can learn in the market. One, you find a mentor, and you pay them and they teach you everything. Or, two, and the more common one, because people don't want to pay for courses and stuff like that, what people end up doing is they just try it themselves and then they lose the same amount of money or more and learn the hard way. But I think either way you get the right experience. It's just whichever way you prefer to learn. Holy crap. You're doing good. You're on a streak. Thought your TV froze? No. Luca, quiet, dude. That sucks. Jackal, you're in a bad spot with Fidelity today. You can't play Evax. You can't play Sling. Could play Sober. Sober's not bad. AGRI was pretty good. Freya, I don't know. I don't know about Freya. I mean, like, it is coming down now, but what was the range here? 1397 to 1444? Like a 50-cent trade. Maybe a little bit more. Actually not. He can't. There was no room for more, but yeah, what happened? I thought you were switching to Lightspeed. Freya still hold? I stopped out on Freya. I believe I stopped out on Freya. Yeah, I stopped out on Freya. AGRI is down to that 200 EMA. This could be another buy opportunity here at 181. EVAX is heading up. TEL we could take a look at. I think it was a telehealth. Oh, Tellurian. This is what merged with can't remember what. It's a weed company though. I'm pretty sure. Sounds like you might have ADHD and you're procrastinating. Yep, that doesn't help. TEL's not looking bad. 270. True range right now is probably 293 to 314, so the range is a little slim on it, but if it came down to VWAP and looked like it was going to bounce, there could be a potential play there. Sober hit a high there, 246. So remember that we're only aiming for about 10 cents on like a $2 stock. So if you find that you're in a spot with 10 cents or more, you should definitely think about taking some profits. Phase looks good. I can look at that too. I'm sure there's something I can throw in the garbage here. Yeah, we'll put this one in the garbage. Phase. Yeah, I don't know about that. The price action's really spotty and the volume is really low. There's not enough liquidity for me to buy in. I mean, right now, theoretically, I could buy in, but the reason I don't like making calls like this is because there's a lot of people that take my alerts and there's not enough volume here, I don't think, to really warrant that. Yeah, like 4K volume, that's not enough for me to make calls on it. I'll be pumping the stock if I make a call on it. So I don't want to do that. That one's just too low. 190, 191, 190, still 190, 189. Well, we hit 191. I think that is PT, yeah. So we'll go ahead and say, did we call? No, we didn't call it yet. Okay, PT, AGRI. Take some profits there if you want. AGRI is 190. Yes, that is a good place to take some profits from our entry. What was our entry? 178 was mine. I think I called 176 or something, and I think I hit 177. EVAX is still looking good. I still want to buy back into it. What we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're already at 8 trades, and we're about half an hour through. That sounds about right. SYRS, nice jump there, 665 to 680. Sling still halted. This could be a big winner. Loss. Who knows? We'll see. Sober took a little bit of profits. Looks like it's on its way to bounce here. It should bounce at this level at 235, but if it doesn't, we could see it hitting that low again. Now we're seeing a little bit of a drop now. Do have a little bit of support in that area. We'll have some support here at the bottom at 225. AGRI looks like it might go again. EVAX still looking pretty good, but I'm a little worried about those spikes. It could get stopped out again for almost no reason. When did Sling halt? Yeah, see, it doesn't even say that it halted again on my halt scanner. So fly in here. Yeah, I don't even know what time it halted that. 1350. What's I haven't gone into EVAX again yet, but if I got into it, I'd be looking to get in probably near this bottom band here, I would think. So you'd probably be looking at like a 308 entry, and then I'd say 330, maybe 340, because we see these spikes, and that's what we'd be kind of banking on is another spike up. And then a stop loss, fairly tight. I mean, like the 305 is maybe a little tight if you got in 308. I'd probably be trying to put it up about $3. If you're in a 311, maybe like a 301 stop, because you could have about a 10-cent stop. If you're in a 311, your PT, I would still be aiming for about 340, maybe 350 you could try for, but I would say, you know what, once you hit like 330, take some profits. Yeah, 335 PT, yeah, that's a good spot. AGRI is looking to break out a little bit here. No, I do go for low float stocks. I almost exclusively play low float stocks, but those low float stocks need to have volume behind them too. Very picky with what I play. I want the shares changing hands as many times as possible. Sober, yep, did knife. We hit down to that 225 level, so let's see if it holds here. If not, we'll be stopping out on the runner. AGRI, what do we got here? We might be looking to hit that 196 resistance. Could be a possibility. Curious as to where Sling is going to go when it opens. Sober looks like it might continue its breakdown here. It took a long time to unhalt last time. It took exactly 13 minutes, which is really, really weird because it should be, 5, 10, or 15-minute halts. Unless my timers are off for whatever reason. But I don't know why they would be. Yeah, halted at 6:36 a.m., unhalted 6:49 a.m. Sober might bounce here, we're hoping. We saw a high of 194 there on AGRI and EVAX. Yeah, nothing's giving us a good entry right now. Let's try FENC. $7.20 to $8. So we got a dollar range, but the true range is a lot smaller than that. We're probably looking at 7.90 to only 30 cents. Probably not worth playing that either. Sling unhalted, we're at $9.60. Almost $10. Take some profits. Are we halted again? Yeah, we are. Okay. Well, I guess we're in another halt now. So I guess we're waiting another 10 or 13 minutes. I wish okay, what time is it now? It's 7 o'clock now, so we'll see when this one halts. It is like lightning. This one and EVAX, both lightning today. AGRI looks like it's going to test that resistance. Sober yet to break down. Looks like it might bounce. We might be in luck here. You got it that time? Good. Well, maybe good. I guess we'll find out in roughly 13 minutes. Well, yeah. Yeah, you gotta be fast today. I kind of hate days like this though, where things are like not moving at all, and then they move really fast, and then they're not moving at all, and then they move really fast. Makes it really hard to play it because you have to be on the ball the whole time doing nothing pretty much. Like at least if stuff is just moving fast all day long, your mind can keep up and you can kind of keep going at that speed. But when it happens like this, where nothing's moving, and then all of a sudden you have to jump in really quickly and jump out really quickly. Good question. Let's find out. It also really bothers me that Market Watch is like a $4 subscription. Like, why wouldn't you just make it $5 or free? I guess free would be better, but I'm seeing news for August, press releases. There we go. 21st, that's today. Debela Solutions receives DOE approval to export LNG. A lot of words I don't know. Department of Energy, that's what it is. To export domestically produced liquefied natural gas LNG to all free trade and non-free free trade countries. So they're able to export their products to almost all countries. So yeah, exactly. Das got it. So their sales are probably going to go through the roof. We could probably hold this for quite some time today if that's the case. Once you got into a halt for 4, and that happens, yeah. You got into a halt for 4 hours and it was a big loss. Yep. Yep, that can happen. That's why I start to get a little sketched out when I've been at a halt 2 or 3 times, because generally you see a massive turn and it starts heading down. So you have to kind of be careful with why you're in the halt, right? Some things will halt for no reason. Like for a while there, we were running into people calling out APRN halts like every day for like 2 weeks. but it would go from no volume and no news up into a halt, and it was just institutions screwing with retail traders, right? It would go into a halt, then it would open up, people would buy in, so it's staying at that price, or going a little bit higher, and then the institution would sell out, and the volume would immediately drop, and there'd be like no price action, and it would just slowly come back down, and all the people would be taking losses. Soper stopped out? Yeah, it did. It could very well hit 60 by the end of the day. That would be nice. We could really use that on the account. And the other problem with being in a halt for 4 hours is sometimes there's stocks that literally just don't stop running. So like it'll be like SLNG here where it runs into a halt in less than 30 seconds and then unhalts and it runs into a halt in like 20 seconds and unhalts and does it like 15 times. And like, sure, I would like to take profits. I'm like, 200, 300, 400% up, but like you can't because every time you go to sell, you're in another halt. And then next thing you know, opens up and it's all the way back down. Am I gonna hold till 60? Let's see what happens this halt. If it unhalts and it's got lots of pressure and it continues to go up, there's a good possibility this could go to 60. Although the more you run into halts like this, the longer they usually get. So we might not make it quite to 60 if it keeps halting up at these crazy levels. We saw a slight break on AGRI here up to $1.97. EVAC's just not really moving anymore. It's kind of sad because it was looking good. These spikes were really nice, but nothing new since. Haven't seen that before. Sometimes it happens in, what am I trying to say here? Oh, bull markets. Sometimes happens in bull markets, but to me this looks like institutional trading, right? Like to me it looks like you had some big buyers stepping in here and here, probably seeing that it's below VWAP, so it's a little bit oversold, so there's more liquidity for buying here. And then the second they saw a break above, they were probably planning on selling, so that would be the spike back down. So it could be done. Yeah, it could be done now. Usually, if you see big spikes like this, it's usually, especially when it happens that fast, it's usually just one seller and one buyer. My Sling SL right now it's 750, but we'll see. We'll see when it unhalts. I should actually probably move it up, but I'm afraid if I move it up, I won't give it enough room and it'll shoot down and then back up. So probably keep it there and just manage it. Ugh. How did they get filled so fast? Well, they have priority fills. And usually, so if you're on a non-direct market access brokerage, it's companies like institutions that actually scalp your orders, right? So they'll take a couple cents off your order and everybody else's that doesn't have direct market access, and that's where they get their fast fills. Why didn't you see their shares on level 2? They could be doing it through multiple, what's it called? Multiple accounts. So have you guys heard of Aladdin? It's I can't remember which company owns it, either BlackRock or Vanguard, but it's actually probably both. Because okay, so the stock market works like this. There's these big companies, BlackRock and Vanguard, and they own majority controlling interest on all companies. And a lot of people think that BlackRock and Vanguard are fighting each other because, one will own Coke and one will own Pepsi, one owns 7 Up, one owns Sprite, Apple, Samsung. They choose it like that, and then people think like, oh, they're like pitting against each other, but that's not the case. They're actually owned by the same people. which means the stock market is basically controlled by the same person. Anyways, that's besides the point. The point is they use a program called Aladdin, which is an artificial intelligence, and that artificial intelligence makes about $13 trillion in transactions per day. So what the artificial intelligence does is it picks winning trades all over the stock market, and it does this by allocating trades through hundreds of thousands of accounts. So that's where you end up with like dark pool trades where it doesn't look like there's a big buyer or seller, but then that dark pool data comes in later and it shows you and stuff like that. So it could just be one person or Aladdin or whatever you want to call it, doing it through multiple transactions at the same time. Yeah, it'd be a cool program to have. Easy way to make money. But that's like so far in depth knowledge about the stock market that it's almost like irrelevant because you'll never beat Aladdin. You just have to learn to play with it. At least I believe it's called Aladdin. I think that's what they named it. Can't remember why though. SLNG still halted almost at the 10-minute mark. Sounds more like the genie. Yeah. Yeah, it does kind of sound like the genie. That's probably why they named it Aladdin. Man, I miss that movie. That was like my childhood stuff. Aladdin, Pocahontas. What else was there? I don't know, all those old Disney movies. Bambi, The Three Stooges was big. I did not watch the live action. I'm very afraid that things are going to ruin what I remember these Disney movies as, so I just opt to stay away from them. All right, so we opened up. That was exactly a 10-minute halt, so we're back on schedule here. 1170, good place to take a little bit of profit. Let's see what happens here. Looks like we might be in a downward halt now. Okay, so I actually managed to take profits that time because I was watching it. However, I was not expecting it to halt down, so I'm still holding some. So that could be bad news, but we'll see. 711, so 721. We'll start watching it around 721 again. But what are we up on this currently? 49%. So we're doing pretty good. AGRI looks like it's bouncing. EVAX, it's down to the level I would like to see it at. Volume's kind of low though. That's my only problem with this. What are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're still at 8 trades. We need to start opening up some new trades. Freya finally, nice. Yeah, I'm gonna go with an EVAX trade. So that's gonna be the first one I'm taking. EVAX, we're gonna go for a 303 entry to 330. 295 stop. Oop. 295 SL. Fingers are too fast for me. 295, there we go. AGRI bounced nicely. FRA looking good. Sober breaking down. SYRS not doing anything. Sling halt down. Caught that halt on the halt scanner, so that's good. I think we can close down EFNs. FENC. I don't know if my momentum alerts and stuff are broken or if there's just zero momentum in the market. And I'm kind of opting to say there's no volume in the market. Sling literally just popped up on the small cap scanner, which is hilarious. It's a little late for that. The halt scanner picked it up way sooner. It's an all-time high for Sling. Yeah, I bet it is. This is big news for them. If they can export their oil or their natural gas to pretty much anywhere, they're bound to make a lot of money, especially because that industry right now is pretty hot. Everybody needs gas. Okay, so we're past our entry point here. So I don't know if you got in, but we're at 295 now, and I'm not really. I guess I'll buy in here. I'm not really sure it's gonna hold, so I think I'm gonna put a tight stop on it from here, but put that stop down 290 maybe. Yeah, basically at this point, just buying in because I said I was going to, and then kind of got distracted there, and then it dropped. So we'll buy in. We'll see what happens. SYRS is down. Sling still halted. Nothing else is really looking like I want to jump in on it right this second. Still holding a little AGRI. What else we got? Maybe SOS? No, not SOS. V or FBAM? Nope, definitely not that. Yeah, there's just nothing right now. Is there anything like extra cheap here? Let me just go configure Windows specific. We'll move this up to 150 million float, price point at 0.50. Okay. Yeah, that didn't change anything. So there's really just nothing moving even close. What are accruals? I'm not really sure. Okay, so with evacs, I'm stopping out on it anyway, but basically what I said was aiming for 303, looked away for a second. By the time I looked back, we were well past 303, so I jumped in 295, and now I'm out at 290. If you haven't gotten in, I would not get in. I would say that you're probably likely to see a 200 EMA bounce at this point, so I would just wait for that, if anything. But yeah, I wouldn't say to jump in anywhere close to here yet. Okay, accruals. Let's take a look at what accruals are. To accrue something. Fine accrual. To accumulate or increase over time. Kind of figured that's what that meant, but I wanted to be sure. Okay, so we have AGRI making its move back up to that 196 level. Can it break through? Sling is open. That was only a 5-minute halt this time. Oh, because it was on its way down, so it's a new timer. Got it. Did we just halt again? I don't even that wasn't even a 30-second candle. While still in profit, that's good. Profit's profit, yeah. Hitting that 196 level, 197. Honestly, we might be holding this well past the first hour of trading, so I guess I'll just try and keep you guys updated on that. Yeah, hold down. Okay, so like with something like this, it could be really iffy because it was, in my mind, really good news. You probably just had a lot of profit takers here, including myself. I also took some profit there. So that would be very natural, especially if they were in from, when the news came out, probably around $6. Once you hit $10, $11, something like that, you're almost 100% up. So a lot of people would likely be taking profits there. But yes, also still very risky. AGRI just barely broke through again, 197, looking to head back down. Freight is indeed finally moving. Prems as in premiums, right? Not pre-market. Premiums, yes. I know options terms. That's probably the only one I know. That's not true. I also know there's Greeks, and that's some sort of term. And strike price. I know that. I think that's it. I honestly, I kind of want to learn options because there might be an off chance that I would be half decent at it, but also just looks like gambling to me. So I don't know what the Greeks are either. I just know that it's part of it. There's theta, beta, maybe alpha. I don't know. I might be making that one up. Omega? I don't know. I know theta for sure though. Delta, gamma, that's what it is. Yeah. I know the Greek alphabet. I do not actually. God, this is boring. What do we jump into? We have one more trade, and I kind of have to take it. I mean, leaving a trade on the table is kind of blasphemy, unless it was a Thursday going into a Friday, then it might be okay. Or a Friday going into the weekend. Does that work? No, because it still takes weekdays to settle. Theta, yeah. Evax curling. It very well could be. Oh, definitely. There's definitely good resources out there for it. It's just I don't really have the want to learn it because I don't know. I'm always with the mind frame if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, I've got day trading. I moved on to futures a little bit, so I'm good with that for now. It can add a lot of price complexity. That's what I hear. Like there's lots of times where like people will be betting the price will move up, it'll move up, and they still won't make any money on it because of the I guess the Greeks or expiry or something. Theta decay. Yeah. This does look like a pretty good curl up. That MACD is curling up a lot faster than the price action though, which kind of makes me want to stay away from it. I would like to get into Frey, but hindsight's 2020. It's too high right now, so I'm gonna just leave it be. We're halted up, so we're expecting a 10-minute halt. I think that was 7:16, so we probably got another 6 minutes on this halt. So if we're still heading down, honestly, I'm not seeing enough that makes me. You know what? I'll try AGRI because we've got a slim profit or slim margin here. We could probably make some money on. So let's try to do that. AGRI 190. We're gonna go for fucking $2. I didn't swear there. Nobody heard that. And a 186. Yeah, 186. I like that. 186 stop loss. That puts us in a very very mediocre place for a stop loss. I'd like to get it below all those lines, but that's not going to happen. Hey, there you go. See you, man. I'm happy to see that a lot of people are doing much better now. I think it's people are finally starting to get the hang of the downward market. It's a good thing to be very careful, and that's kind of how you have to play this. And I was talking to Scott the other day, and basically we were saying that a lot of day traders, swing traders, investors, they're taking this market off. Like this is just their vacation time. It unhalted already. Whoa, that was weird. All the way up to 12:30, all the way back down. Looks like it's probably not going to do a whole lot here. I could definitely be wrong though. But we did hit pretty high there. Not seeing a ton of orders coming through. Why didn't it pop up on the scanner? Probably because it had no volume. And it wasn't a gainer in the pre-market, so it wouldn't have popped up on the pre-market until after open. Yeah, and then by the time it popped up, the scanner that caught it was my halt scanner. Scalped some of it, but got out again. Yeah, it's good. Good little range. to get in small just to see if it goes. It's consolidating, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. We'll see if it breaks down from VWAP too hard. I think it'll probably fall, but got to be careful with that spread though. Sometimes it's just hitting 1 cent, sometimes it's hitting 20 cents. Yeah, it's had basically no resistance. This is the first sign of resistance. Even now, it's pretty slim. It's slim on both sides, though. People are very unsure about this one. I mean, yeah, just if you want to get in and hold it for a while, just give it a, a reasonable stop loss with a small amount on it. Give it like a, I don't know, like a $9 stop loss. See if it goes. This is a very scary stock to play. Look at that. We're back up to 1070, just like that. We dropped down to 970 all the way up to 1070. Whole dollar move. Whole like 10%. Maybe even 12% there. AGRI, not really looking too great, but also not terrible either, so not really sure what to think of that yet. Freya on its way down. Sling doing its thing. Exactly, yeah, you want the small amount. Sometimes it's worth those. It's definitely a lotto play, but sometimes it's worth it. Making 6 times whatever you put in, that sounds pretty good to me. Um, hmm. Yeah, I guess we're basically just waiting on AGRI. Nothing else is moving. Just kind of hoping for a little more excitement out of SLNG. The market cap is so huge on a low float. Well, it's the float times the price, right? That's what makes it the market cap. Give or take some, because the float is usually only public shares and they have private shares as well. And whatever else. So you'd be looking at 3 million times $10 right now. But that 98 million market cap is probably priced in somewhere around $5 or something, somewhere along that range. If that makes sense. As far as I understand market cap, it's float times price. Gives you a rough market cap. So right now, technically speaking, I think it's supposed to be like, 30 million or something. So that's public shares and whatever private and whatever else they got going on. They must have a lot of private shares. Actually, let's look on Yahoo. Let's figure that out. Yahoo Finance. Since we got nothing better to do for the next couple minutes. SLNG. Statistics, market cap 98 million. The enterprise value is not much more, actually, surprisingly. Let's see, what are the shares? Float. Oh yeah, there you go. That's why it's so high. Held by insiders, 84%. That's huge. That is a huge amount held by insiders. Probably one of the highest I've seen. So that's why, this looks like it should be a 30 million float cap or 30 million market cap stock, but it's actually 90 millions because 80% is held by insiders, which isn't calculated to float. So there's your answer. Yeah, that's a very, very high number of shares held by insiders. That's usually a healthy insider holding is like 5 to 10%. If they're holding 80%, they think this is going to be huge. And they know more than we know, obviously. So this could be a very, very good stock to go long in. Like for maybe investing purposes. Yeah, maybe. Especially with the news that just got put out. Could be a very good thing for them. Just Yahoo Finance, and you go to statistics on the stock. So you go Yahoo Finance, and you type in SLNG, and then down there's like little tabs you can click, and you just click statistics and scroll down until you find insider holdings. There's other ways you can do it. There's other websites, but that's the easiest and the free one. So we saw it go back up to $11. You know what? I think we still have one more trade. I think I'm gonna try Sling again. I'm gonna open up a whole new position on Sling. SLNG 970. We're gonna go for at least $12 on it, and then a $9 stop. Let's give it a 920 stop. I don't want to really see it break into a new low here, and honestly, 920 is still plenty of room. So, but besides that, we're actually kind of out of time. So, I think I'm just gonna hold these, and I'll try to update when I can. I actually bought in a little bit high there, so I'm actually gonna move that to 930. But same. Anyways, let's go over the money board today. We're at $292, so technically worse than yesterday, but that's not accounting for these trades on SLNG yet, or at least one of them, 1.5. So this is likely to go up and will surpass yesterday, unless we picked a really bad trade somehow. What's our win rate? We're actually did terrible today, 6-4. Oh, hang on, that's because the new trades don't count because we haven't taken profits on AGRI. And we haven't taken profits on SLNG yet, so that's why that's pretty low. So we won't go over the thing yet. We're at 79% today. We took 1, 2, 3 losses, not 4. Oh, I didn't put in... did I put in AGRI yet? No, I haven't. Gotta do that. But yeah, so far we're at 79%. That'll probably change a little bit by tomorrow, but we'll see. And I think I just actually put that in an area that I cannot... There we go. Click. Anyways, guys, SLNG is looking pretty good still. Hopefully y'all made some money, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Take care, guys.